A few thoughts now on the Clinton-Obama political machine trying to affect the outcome of this presidential election. It's become axiomatic that Republican elites want open borders to provide cheap labor for their favorite folks in corporate America, and that Democrats want those open borders for a different reason, to bring in more voters for Democratic candidates. Today we know the latter part of the axiom has been proved true. An internal Obama administration email shows immigration officers being ordered by their superiors to rush through as many citizenship applications as possible before the presidential election. The email was just disclosed to Fox News by Republican Senators Chuck Grassley and Ron Johnson. Both are chairmen of committees with oversight of the Homeland Security Department. The email from the chief of the branch of the Houston Office of Customs and Immigration Services, one of the biggest processing centers in the entire country. Part of it reads, quote, "The field office, due to the election year, needs to process as many of their N-400 cases as possible between now and fiscal year 2016. The email goes from July 21st. It goes on to say, if you have cases in this category or other pending, you are encouraged to take advantage of the OT if you can. It's the end of year crunch time, so let's get crunchy." Isn't that cute when bureaucrats talk like that? I mean, that's kind of fun. You read that right. At a time when the Department of Homeland Security should be carefully reviewing citizenship applications, they're actually ramming them through and pushing people out to the polls as fast as their little hands possibly can. What's worse, Homeland Security has a proven lousy track record in processing cases under even normal circumstances. Just this week, we reported on a DHS Inspector General's report finding nearly 1,000 people from so-called special interest countries, i.e., those with high rates of radical Islamic terrorism, were granted citizenship when those people actually were criminals and should have been deported, but not in the Obama way. The newly disclosed email also contradicts an assertion made by Homeland Security. An agency spokesman, James McKinney, told the Washington Times, quote, "We adjudicate applications as well as educate and inform on the benefits of citizenship irrespective of elections." Well, obviously, except in election years when they want them to be voting as quickly as possible for whoever it is that has rushed their application through, in this case, Democrats. None of this is by accident, of course. It's by design, as we've all known for years. But now it's Obama. He's put it in our face, directly in our face. The Democratic Party, its presidential nominee, Hillary Clinton, and various open borders and amnesty groups have all boosted their efforts this year to rubber stamp as many applications in time for the November election. A surge in citizenship will certainly help Democrats at the polls, and if this all sounds familiar, that's because it is. The Bill Clinton administration did exactly the same thing right before the 1996 election. Tens of thousands of people were given expedited citizenship processes despite criminal records or without going through proper background vetting. On the new findings, Senator Grassley wrote to the DHS Secretary Jay Johnson saying, quote, "We sincerely hope history is not repeating itself," end quote. Well, that's kind of nice and quaint, but of course it's nonsense. Of course it is exactly that. History repeating itself because the same people are in charge. The Democratic Party and the Clinton cartel are still the ones manipulating both votes and history.